Good morning. How you doing, Mike?
Doing good. How about you?
Doing good.
Are you all?
Ignore the calculation.
Oh, perfect. I didn't make it that far, I don't think. Yeah, it's all moved over somehow. Get it back.
All right, Mike, we don't have any minutes. We'll have those next meeting.
Okay.
So. Manager's report. What's been happening?
Not much. Garbage.
Garbage is the order of the day.
No injuries.
Yes,
Keep it that way.
we were just talking about that in our meeting this morning, the work comp. Everybody's doing awesome.
Good,
Giving us some money.
good. Yeah, I haven't had anything, not even hand, knock on wood, hand
Yeah.
injuries or anything. I harp on them a lot about the gloves. We did 615 gallons of oil, so we're really increasing. We're not taking it into the shop because their heater broke down here middle of winter. And
Oh, did it?
yeah, they never fixed it, so we have nowhere to put it.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
we're filling up really fast. I think Montana City's full right now, and it's hard to get them with the new recycler. There's only one person in the whole state of Montana. And it costs us $307 for recycling. We collected revenue $439.68 in batteries. We have another load getting ready to go down to the batteries. Cardboard did 6.44 tons. No paper, 0.46, and aluminum, we will have money coming back because cardboard is zeroed out. But we'll have some money come back. I think it's like $234 and some odd cents for aluminum.
Does one of the groups down in Whitehall still have their aluminum collection in our Whitehall site?
They got rid of it for about a month and then they started doing it again.
Oh, did they?
And I don't think it's the Rotary Club anymore. I think it's the kids. They called, I can't remember, but
It is, I don't recall, but you're right.
it was I think it's some kids are doing it right now.
Okay.
So at least it's going somewhere. Yeah, that happened about 2 months ago. I took it over. I just can't remember the group. It's not the Boy Scouts.
First I was thinking 4-H, but.
I don't remember either. I know they called me and I said, that's okay, go ahead and take it. Brush, it's coming in like crazy at both sites, both Boulder and Whitehall, getting some big stuff now. And then we did 53.72 tons of brush from Clancy and Montana City. It cost us $1,651.47. We had some good revenue from sites. It's getting up and down, real up and down, but when it gets really nice out, about the third day, when we get hit pretty hard, they're pulling some good revenue. Did a little over 1,065 revenue in Whitehall and 2,225. I think that's a record for Montana City. Boulder is doing pretty good too right now, 1,699, and then Jeff City 401, Clancy 140, Basin 167, and then the office with permits and no solid waste on the properties, 381.91. So we have a yearly total of 48,349. I think we'll go up about probably another, we got 3 months left to go in our revenue on my budget reports.
Do this month and next month.
Well, I don't see last
Oh,
month.
okay,
Yeah.
so yeah. so
I just
April,
got-
May, June.
Yeah, I just got the budget update for last month, just
Okay.
this morning, and I was going over it. We're doing fairly well on the budget. I mean, it is what it is. We're probably gonna be somewhere between probably 80 to 100,000 in the hole.
Okay.
And I updated that report I gave you guys last time. We hauled 359.2 tons of garbage, the landfill. The whole county did 517.24. In all of us, Tri-County, McGree, and Julio and us. And there's some discussions in, with Rocker, Ute Silverbow still. They keep calling me about once a week, talking to me about what is gonna happen. We'll see what happens. And rates and stuff. And then one thing we talked about last time was scheduling for Basin and Clancy. So it would help my scheduling. I don't know if we wanna do it now or do it in the fall. The biggest day for Clancy is Sunday. They don't really do much on Saturday. And Jeff City does more garbage than Clancy does. And they're only open 2 days a week.
Wow.
And Clancy's only, was it 6 miles, 7 miles from Montana City? I mean, I like to see Clancy closed on Saturday. It would help my scheduling and move Basin to Sunday. Because Basin's what, 8 miles from Boulder. It
We're
would
already
help-
open Saturday, right? Are you talking changing it from Saturday to Sunday?
Yeah,
Okay.
changing it Saturday to Sunday. It would help my scheduling because I mean, I have every single site's open on Saturday. And it makes it tough, because if somebody calls off sick, I have to be ready to go to work every single Saturday morning. I mean, I can't go do anything. It would relieve at least 2 more people to move them over so that I could have that extra 2 people for Saturdays. And that's what my whole problem is, and you've done the scheduling, you kind of understand it.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare,
Mhm.
because you can't hire enough people to keep them, to keep people
Keep them
and
employed.
retained, because you have sites open 2 days a week, 3 days a week. I mean, 1 day is 2 days, back. 1 day is 2 sites. The next day is 3 sites, and then 2 sites, 2 sites, 2 sites, and then 6. So all your employees are on Saturday, and who wants to work? You can't barely get anybody over 24 hours a week. So I have like 8 guys with 24 hours, and then I have, or 6 guys, and then I have the rest of them. I have 2 40s, 1 32, and then I have seasonal people. And it's hard to find people this year. So, I mean, that's one thing to think about, is be a lot easier on scheduling, and I wouldn't have so much overtime all the time when it does happen, cause it's getting ready to happen.
So you wouldn't move Clancy Saturday to something else, or
No, I'd just close it completely on
what
Saturday,
other days is it open?
Wednesday and Sunday.
So it would just be 1 day open?
Do 2 days open, Wednesday, Sunday.
Oh, Wednesday, Sunday, okay, gotcha,
Just like Jeff City's open on Tuesday and Saturday.
okay.
I don't think Clancy needs to be open that much. Clancy doesn't do any more than, they do less than Jeff City.
And they're open
Month
3
up.
days now?
They're open 3 days.
Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday, okay.
And I think a lot of people in Jeff City go to Jeff City, and then when it's open on Saturday, and then when it's closed on, because it's closed on Sunday, they kind of go over to Clancy.
Gotcha.
That's what I used to do.
And Clancy probably goes to Montana City on their way to town or something half the time.
That's what they do on Saturdays. People go grocery shopping or shopping, and they don't, Clancy doesn't do much on Saturday. They do like a half a can, maybe a whole can if it's really busy that day. Sunday's their busiest day. And they'll do a can and a half of garbage.
No, I think it's a great idea if it helps your scheduling and gets a little bit of weight off your back.
I mean,
I
it
mean,
would,
they got options, they can go one way or the other and still dump their garbage.
and I know we're gonna get some pushback. on it.
Oh, yeah. we
I
will.
mean, they will. Do we wait until things slow down, go ahead and deal with it for the summer, or do we just pull the plug and do it? And pull the Band-Aid off of it really fast.
My personal opinion, I think you should do it now and let them get the swing of it before summer kicks in,
It's
so they
already,
get used to it.
it's already kicked in. You
I-
know,
I
you're gonna
would-
get hit hard in base.
I would, if you're gonna do it, I would, start telling people and have a deadline, like in July, we're gonna, at the first of the year, we're gonna change the schedule. And you can start letting people know as they're coming up to the site, whether it's Basin or both of these.
I agree. I would give them at least 2 months notice.
And say, this is how it's gonna be, that'll give them some time, I mean, they won't start hollering until it actually happens, but but at least they've been warned. If we got a good excuse, we need to take
Yeah.
some off you, some of the.
Well, it's just not just that, it's just trying to find people, personnel to hire to fill the whole week.
Right,
And it would help relieve a lot of that.
and Saturdays are tough to get people to work anyway, it's a weekend and.
They are,
Wants to work on the weekend typically.
yeah. Saturday is tough. Well, anybody on the weekend. And then we're gonna be closed June 2nd, even though I got giant 4x4, 4 foot by 4 foot signs up. I know people won't see them.
I seen them.
You can. I tried to make them big enough so everybody would see them, and right in the driveway. I
You
could
don't
check
wanna
them.
make little
Oh,
pieces
no.
of paper to give out?
No, nobody will read them.
I'll forget what date it was, but
I
I've
know.
seen the sign.
It's a Monday. Oh, yeah, it'll happen. But, so we're closed all day. They're gonna seal it. They already did the patchwork. They're gonna do the cracks same morning, the 2nd of June, Monday, for like about 3 weeks.
And it can, once they get it on there, the next day you can open it back up?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll come in there and put all the recyclables back next
does it
month.
matter if it's raining, snowing? They can
Oh,
still-
they'll cancel it if it's raining,
Okay,
and we'll have to schedule another day.
okay,
So right now it's June 2nd. Usually we're pretty good by then. I don't know if it matters this much, if we have sprinkles or not, but if it's doing like this, they'll cancel it. And then, there hasn't been a lot of repairs, thank God, on the trucks and everything, so we look pretty good on that. I did have to do brakes on the trailer, and now I'm doing, brakes on the truck. That's kind of normal wear and tear. We drive them so much.
so is the assessment fee what we're talking about next?
Yeah.
Oh, you got it right there, okay.
I
So-
gave you guys all that.
Can you get us, before we start our meetings, the year these trucks are, what year they're manufactured, and also how many miles they have on them, do they have good odometers on them, that we have 3 million miles on each truck?
I can give you that. I know that I think one of them is a early 2000s, one's in the 90s. I know that, and I know they're both of them are around 400,000
400,000 miles?
on the truck.
Oh, that's not as bad as I thought they
But
were.
the engines are
Replaced?
replaced.
Yeah.
One's 3 years, and whenever you have engine replaced, like anything, you go through a 2-year period of replacing all kinds of little parts.
So to make our case for the truck, I would definitely have the year they are, and the miles they run, and how many times we've had to replace motors. Just, some kind of an argument saying these trucks are wore out, we need to upgrade.
Yep. I can get that. The next meeting.
And before we move past our regular manager's report, are you guys okay with Mike starting to change those hours on the solid waste sites?
Yeah.
So I'd say go ahead and move forward with that change. Yeah, start advertising and start letting people know, and
And it's not that I wanna get beat up over it. I've been beat up enough in the last couple of years, but it just doesn't make sense to have them open those days.
right, and if you got the argument that the boxes are getting, you kind of get a feel for how many customers are coming, because you know how much garbage is getting dumped, so.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get a lot in Clancy. You're gonna get a few people calling about Clancy, but I think Basin, you're gonna hear.
Send Basin people to me, because we've talked about closing that site for years and years, and they're like, whatever it takes to keep it open, changing days is not a big deal,
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
Any complaints about Basin, let me know, because
okay,
they beg to keep it open, and we're actually manning it now, which is more than,
yeah, well,
it's costing us more than what we need, I guess.
yeah, it doesn't do much. Basin, it's a real hit and miss. I mean, it depends on the day. Like last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, they did a whole can. Last Saturday, a quarter can.
Right.
I mean,
Really good, yes.
and then, but everybody was kind of down last weekend with Mother's Day,
Yeah,
so.
and I think a weekend day is a weekend day in my mind, if you have the weekends off, you can do Saturday, you can do Sunday, whatever.
Yeah.
That's in mind. So,
Yeah.
We gotta try to run this program as efficiently as possible, and if this will save us paying you overtime, that'll make it more efficient.
Well, I think some of the sites were set up back in the day when they were unmanned too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And now they're manned, and the problem is just finding people to work enough hours, maintaining people.
Yep.
So, I think that's the biggest problem I run into. And then now like Roy's gone for the next 3 weeks on vacation, so I'll probably work the next 3 weekends.
3 Saturdays and
Yeah. So. and I
just
knew
put a
that-
note on the gate, says Roy's gone, site's closed.
Yeah, there you
They'll
go.
understand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, and I already figured out where to move people around, so it's not a
Okay.
big issue.
Yeah, I would start that process and
Okay.
if you get a bunch of pushback, let us know, but I don't think we're gonna have too much.
We'll put up some signs and I think that works better, 4 foot by 4 foot signs.
Well, I think
They
it
see
is.
them, they see them anyways. Anyways, so you want to go over this part of with the assessment fee, or do you want to wait until the next meeting? I know we're gonna have to start setting up scheduling, some evening meetings.
No, I think we're good. I think, we can start advertising these meetings.
Okay.
Helen and I were talking about this week, that we'll get them in get something in the paper or both papers by Friday, so we can get it in next week's paper, then start the meetings the following week. So, we'll get it in the paper here. Yeah, paper here, so we can start, and of course, that's Memorial Day.
Yep.
But if we do 3 Mondays in June, maybe,
Okay. I can do Monday.
and Helen's gonna work on figuring out what days work best for which end of the county we'll do.
Okay.
So 2nd, 9th and 16th.
And that'll give us 2 weeks of advertising, for those meetings.
Okay.
And, yeah, and I think what we'll do is bring this forth to them as we've gotta do the low, which one is it, to get us,
At a minimum.
yeah, for our
Yeah, the
budget,
minimum.
to at least meet our budget
Yep.
requirements per year, which is gonna be, what, about 100,000 or more a year.
Yep. Cause we're running short every year. I mean, we're doing, if I take like last year, we had total revenue of 1.151. And then we did expenditures of 1.238. We were a shortfall of 86,000. It's almost like, and that's, I think, exactly what we're gonna be about this year.
So we need
About
to have
86,000.
option one, which is really not an option. This is requirement number one, or the only requirement, I
Yep.
guess, is getting our budget up to
So
even.
one thing I was wrong on last time. So remember I said Broadwater County is 185? They're not 185. That's what they were. They went to 265. Now they're gonna go up to around 300.
Wow.
I was wrong on my voicemail on that.
So I'll work with you, Mike, between now and the meeting time to get the numbers for the required increase. That's gonna have to be, it is what it is to keep our program running.
Yeah,
And then option one would be a new truck, right? That'll be
Yep.
so much more a year per tag, and then option two would be a building for our trucks. And what price that's gonna be. And it looks like you've got them kinda laid out here already.
I do. I have truck and building combined together, kinda.
$10 a year for those two together.
Yeah.
How about get us up to that budget break
Yeah.
even? Is that, how much is that one gonna be? The $33?
33, 31 that also helps with a little bit of the inflation I think we're gonna have this year.
Okay.
So there's always inflation every year. Nothing's going down. And then they would put our assessment fee at 183.
Okay.
If we put our assessment fee at 193, they put us with a new truck. If we don't do the 183, we only do the 183, we're not getting a new truck. We're just making our budget whole.
What's the truck cost, and is that $4?
Yep.
So we can give them the first option, $4 on top of the $33 to get us a new truck. If we wanna go all the way out and add the building, that's another $6.
Yep.
So with everything, you're looking at
193, which is
193.
rate increase 43.31 a year. I didn't put in there how much it costs per month. I should put that in there.
Yeah, just break them down by the month. That helps people see that.
Cause like right now, we're $12.43 a month.
Right.
And I think that, I'm not sure exactly, well, per month, $12.43, so you're up to, another $3, about $3 on top of the $12.43 if you break even. And with the truck and the building is another $3.61 on top of the $12.43
Per month.
per month.
Yeah.
not talking about a lot per month.
Right, yeah, if we break it down.
Cheaper than Julio's.
What's that?
Still cheaper than Julio's.
Yeah. Yeah, when I pay Julio.
Not go there.
Yeah, I'll total that up per month.
All right, that sounds good. So Helen and I will work on, do you wanna work on a newspaper ad of some sort, or do you wanna have Holly do that, or?
Either one.
Okay, so if you can have her make the ad, and then we'll put June 2nd, 9th, and 16th, and Helen and I will fill in those blanks as far as where they're gonna be. If we can do Montana City first, Clancy, or not Clancy, Older next, and then Whitehall next, we'll try to do it in that order.
Okay.
We'll have to see what's available as far as meeting room.
Mike, in our previous discussions, wasn't there something about for a sort of an incentive program for these folks for if, it costing more? That if they-
Well,
on the household or whatever that was that time, remember?
that's to go from not charging, and kind of that's what we
Yeah.
built into this, is not
Yeah.
charging people quarter loads anymore
Right,
and going to half loads.
Could that be added to our argument on this, on
Yeah,
these
it could
numbers?
be.
Okay. That would be good.
Might give them a little break, the residents, give them a little break on the construction waste.
Yeah.
So they're not, feel like they're getting beat up. Still like a charge for couches and chairs. Yeah, we can do that.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
I'll do that. Is there an example of some of your meetings that you guys have scheduled, so I can kind of go off of that? I'll have to redo the wheel, or no?
I think it's just really simple, solid waste,
Okay.
fee,
Increase
Updates.
in fee updates.
yeah,
Okay, do something simple.
yeah, a public meeting on that before the commission makes a, if you throw something together, I can work with you. to
Okay.
Get it,
I can do
and
that.
we can, Holly's really.
I see
good
what you're
about that
looking
too.
for now.
And we can just write out what we need and have Holly design it too. She can
Okay.
design.
I can come up with something about that. I see what you're looking for now.
And then I can get it in the paper Friday, and then next week, and get it, all those front students.
Okay.
And,
We'll have it done this week.
And depending on where the
Something
meetings
coming
are
up
gonna
soon.
be, we may just run like if our first two meetings are in Montana City and Boulder. Probably. Trying to think, 2 weeks before on all of them. We could do the Boulder Monitor for those 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and then jump down to the Whitehall Ledger for that last one.
And the city council had talked to me a couple times, and I'm out in Whitehall too, just so you know.
what's that now?
City council has talked to me a couple times.
Yeah,
This Whitehall City Council. They didn't know a lot of things about solid waste. They didn't understand solid waste. And I explained to them quite a bit. And
Thank you.
now they want me to think about having me come to
Oh,
a
no.
council meeting.
that's just upcoming Monday.
Wow.
There's a lot, probably.
What's that?
I mean,
No, tell me, if there's something, let me know, I'll do it.
I got the
Okay.
tags, you want
Good
me to
fine.
put them on?
Well,
Well, maybe both of
Is
us
there
are going or
separate-
something.
If you go, I can go too. So
Yeah.
that's
Sure.
part of it.
They were mentioning it. They haven't called me, but they've been mentioning it. And I think it's all,
Okay.
just so you know.
Cause you can use it this way.
I don't think
and
they
do everything with
understand it.
They don't.
But then.
And it's kind of like, I had to go out and look at is it the country store out there?
On D Street.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. if you
There's
just
no
want to
solid
see
waste,
the-
and they wanted
somewhere else.
permits.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no solid waste on that
And
property.
then you want me to get it back to you, or?
And they wanted permits,
sheets?
and they
Yeah.
get in a
I think I've
lot
got a folder
of
somewhere.
garbage,
Yeah, they do. They do.
a lot.
They do.
Any
Like-
gas station.
Yeah, so I told them, I said, I have to add solid waste to the property. I said, nobody's exempt to it. And then I started talking to the city council, one of the city council members, and I started to explain to him, because he didn't understand solid waste. I think that's who it was.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, gentlemen, we will close out the meeting.